It's time to check your money with your friendly neighborhood advisor. Mike Jennings is a wealth advisor with Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Mike, so what's going on, bro?
We're doing good. We're still it's August, um a new month, and I wish I could say things are slowing down a little bit, but it seems things are ramping up.
Yes, they are. And I know that you're getting ready because it's 1 month closer to that bundle of joy you got cooking in the oven.
Yeah, I was about to say don't remind me, but please keep reminding me because every day it's getting closer, and we're excited. We're excited.
I'm excited for you
Thank you. Thank you.
after having been a dad 4 times. So
Yep. So a lot of things are going on as of late. And I figured, it may be a good time for us to cover some quick topics that people should be aware of. So, how does that sound?
all right, so you got some quick hits for us today, is what you're telling
Quick
me.
hits.
All right. Well, it sounds like a good idea to me. What do you have cooking?
All right, so student loan debt interest is accruing again. So all of us, me included, who still owe on student loans have been getting a flurry of notifications and a letter here, letter there, emails, and this back and forth of what measures are taking place and what is being considered legal or not. So to refresh everyone's memory just quickly, the SAVE Act was brought to us by the previous administration with Biden, and it's all but rescinded at this point and is considered to not be legal. So the current administration is going just full throttle on getting these student loans repaid as quickly as possible because it's the government. The government wants their money back as quickly as possible. So they're just hitting the go button on that. And as of August 1st, they have resumed charging interest on these student loans. So what does this mean, right? So the growing interest will increase the total amount that you owe on your student loans based on what you're paying. Even the regular payments are expected to be higher than before. So you definitely want to make sure that you check with your loan servicer. The plans that you may have had before may not be no longer available. So I know a lot of people are on like income-driven repayment plans, right? Those are all out the window due to the SAVE Act being rolled back. Now they do have some new substitutions, replacements, whatever you want to call it. It's not as many options, but you may want to consider enrolling in the new income-based repayment plan if you need to. And these plans will also have higher payment, just like the regular payment if you weren't in this plan. It will also have higher payments based on, again, the different income ranges that you qualify for. Now, if you have not already, make an entry in your budget going forward for these repayments and account for them until they're paid off. We don't want to get back into this cycle of will they, won't they, are they gonna forgive, are they gonna do this or do that. Listen, just understand that these are debt tools. This is something that you utilize to, get an education, and whether you're using it or not, it is something that you have to pay back. So just make sure that you take on that responsibility and things like deferment and forbearance it was never meant to last forever. I know we all got used to that since COVID, but
Right.
crazy to say COVID started over 5 years ago. So keep track of your repayments. I know another thing that people have been talking about is that these forgiveness programs, a lot of people are relying on these things and these are now coming into question too, whether you paid for 10 years in a certain field or 20 years on 25. And now, these new plans where you have to pay for 30 years consistently before you are forgiven. Uh,
30 years.
30 years. That's the
Well,
latest.
and some people already had their student loans forgiven, so good for them.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
these student loan issues are going to be a big problem for a lot of folks. So keep
Mhm.
your eye on it. All right. Speaking of keeping your eye on stuff, what else should we be keeping our eye on?
Yep. Another growing issue is that Trump's latest tariffs are expected to take more effect on the American consumers and, be more noticeable.
Mhm.
The Trump administration has implemented more tariffs last week, and, they are starting to take effect this week. There was a week delay there from the executive order to where they're now taking effect. This whole conversation has been exhausting. It's been that way since even before the election. And since the president seemingly can no longer deny the impact of misrepresenting how tariffs work, let's just take a brief pause and remind the folks out there what this means, right? So tariffs are a tax placed on goods being imported from other countries into America. Now, since the American government doesn't have jurisdiction or any authority over other countries, we can't place taxes on other countries. What we're doing is we're placing taxes on the goods created in those companies that are being brought into America. So the people that are importing them or the companies that are importing to sell them in America are the ones that are technically taking on or actually being levied for these goods and taking on the taxes. And a lot of times, these additional taxes and additional costs are very likely to be passed on to the Americans that are buying them. And in a very impactful area where Americans will start seeing more and more of these effects is at the grocery store. I know we talked about groceries time and time again, and I'm here to talk to you about it again. I've been seeing I've been seeing more and more of it myself. I don't know why my trips to the grocery store have not decreased in frequency. Maybe I need to, start doing that better myself. But
Right.
actually, George, have you noticed or have you seen certain things that you often buy or something that's always on your grocery list? Has it been increasing in price? Have you seen anything like that?
Well, it's interesting. I haven't seen, well, things like basic stuff. I mean, I was thinking about eggs, which actually have come down, believe it or not.
Yes, they
But
have.
I can't say that I've really noticed it. Maybe certain things like oils and things like that used to be one price, have gone up a little bit. I'm seeing it like 20 cents here, 50 cents there, creeping. It's like a creep. So, but not as much as I to be honest, I haven't really seen it that much.
Yep. And obviously it depends on your taste and what you actually buy at the store. So if we're talking about imported goods, for myself personally, it's been getting real getting real hard keeping a fresh bottle of olive oil
I've got now
in the
that
house.
has gone up. Yes.
And thinking back, olive oil has always been like most expensive oil you could buy.
Right.
But now it's like that, that little mini bottle, little 12-ounce, 16-ounce bottle you used to be able to get for 12, $13 is now like 20, 21, $22 for that little bottle. And it's not going to last that long, depending on how much you use it. And obviously, olive oil is very much or mostly made outside of the country, in places where they make olives, of course. So, since this will be our economic environment for the foreseeable future, we all, including me, should be more strategic with our shopping, better spending habits. Maybe the one positive thing that many of us may be able to get from this situation, or hone in on in ourselves, and while we're going through this. So please don't go to the grocery store without a list. I do that often. And especially don't go in there hungry. I am guilty of doing that. I go long stretches throughout the day without eating and then realize I gotta go to the store so I can make dinner, and now I'm in there hungry. I don't have a list. I'm trying to put something together while I'm walking through the aisles and end up just putting random stuff into the cart. You already know all the common things that are regularly consumed in your house. You mentioned eggs, milk, butter, all the dairy products, all the things that are necessary, right? Like different ingredients that you use throughout the week or throughout the month. Make a base list of all those things and budget a portion, earmark a portion of it for some of the less common things that you may buy, or maybe some of the new things you want to buy. You have different tastes or, seasonal items, things like that. Use cheaper stores for your weekly or your monthly groceries. Not every grocery trip has to be to Wegmans, go to Aldi, right? Go to Price Right, ShopRite, whatever the other stores out there, right? You may want to be.
Probably
Yeah,
Wegmans says, but we what do they call it? They got hot zone pricing.
How's- Now you may want to be a little strategic on what you get from some of these cheaper stores.
Yeah.
But overall, some of the packaged things and things that are, sit on the shelves, just buy those at Aldi or something like that. Use cheaper things. Or better yet, use wholesale stores. We got Costco and BJ memberships in our household, and it's going a long way. And I know it will continue to go a long way as we usher in this new life into our home. But you can buy so many of these things in bulk, and so many things that you can buy in bulk are usually a lot more expensive when you buy them alone. So instead of buying one bottle or one pack of whatever for $10, you can buy a three, four, five pack for $25, right? And even if you don't use it all, don't keep it in the fridge so it can go bad. Use your freezer. Use the utilities in your house to make sense and work for you strategically. Does that sound like a good idea, George?
I think it is. And I do think it's a good idea, as a matter of fact. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking, here's a young person who's coming into family life, discovering how much things are. So I'm getting a kick out of that. But I think one thing we do need to do is to sort this out fast. So
Yes,
I want to be able to keep eating what I want. And, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet,
you
right?
do. You
But
do.
um, having said that, is there anything else people need to hear about this week?
Yes, yes, yes. All right, we still got one more quick hit and we'll finish up. The U.S. jobs market is very seemingly, evidently in trouble. With the last jobs report that got released in July being way under the numbers, and that sparked the ire of Mr. President there, and now he's firing the person that put those numbers out, and he's gonna fire and hire whoever he wants, whoever he can, to make his administration look like the best administration out there, whether it's for fact or whether it's for fiction. So, with that being said, we have to understand what this is indicative of in our economic environment and sort of evaluate how we're going to move, right? So, for the people out there, if you're on the job hunt, if you're thinking of switching jobs, if you're not happy, if you don't think you're making enough money, whatever your situation is, if you find yourself needing a new job or you got laid off, things like that, evaluate where you are currently and understand where you need to go. So try securing jobs that are either experiencing high growth, like tech, which is very big here in our hometown, Syracuse, New
Right.
York,
Yeah.
or find a job or field that is in very high demand or that we just know isn't going anywhere, like healthcare. Right? It doesn't matter what we are doing as humans, or how advanced we get, or how stagnant we are. We're always going to need healthcare because people need to be healthy to stay alive so that we can argue and talk each other's heads off all day. So, if you're not working full time, consider multiple part-time jobs. I mean, I just reminded myself of Everybody Hates Chris when remember I don't need this job. My man has two jobs, right?
Oh,
Yeah, consider multiple jobs. That's been a very common thing, right? Use the flexibility in your schedule to your advantage, right? If you're not working the hours that you want, use your off hours to either find a job that you want or start finding or building skills within yourself so that you can make yourself uh more obtainable as far as finding a job. Also, if you're not currently working, network. Go out, go use your spare time, go out, network, meet new people, and foster relationships that can help bring opportunities to you. A lot of these networking opportunities, I know sometimes you look at some of the bigger events and they got high ticket items or high ticket entries. Just go out. Go out meet new people, see who's around you, who you can know. Just be in the right rooms with the right people and start building these relationships. Which, outside of finding opportunities that can come to you, building relationships is just a factor of leading a longer, healthier life, which we all want. So of course, I never suggest anything to you, especially anything major without having a plan in place. So if any of these issues that we talked about, anything that we said sort of hit home for you, then it's probably been a while since you've reviewed your own circumstances. So if you would like to have an in-depth conversation or discussion and about you and your family and your financial needs and your goals and sort of where you want to go, then give your friendly neighborhood advisor a call at 315-748-5540. Again, that's 315-748-5540, or send me a quick note at michael.jennings@brackensfsn.com.
Mike Jennings is a wealth advisor with Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. He is your friendly neighborhood advisor.